Patience, Kiran. It is not as fast as you.
Sorry,
All right,
my
so
bad.
we are live. Welcome everybody for joining our read along, Wheel of Time read along, and we are going to discuss book three of Wheel of Time, which is the Dragon Reborn, and we have a fantastic panel of Wheel of Time fans here today. Um, in fact, Anita, she has two live show on the same day for the same book. How incredible is that, right? We're just discussing that. So before we get into the book, I would like to have a quick round of introduction from the panelists. So, Anita, go ahead.
Hey guys, I'm Anita from the channel Anita Gade. I mostly read fantasy, and this Wheel of Time I'm reading first time. I have some spicy opinions. We'll get to that. So it's good to be here. Thank you, Angie, for asking me to be here.
Sure. Phil,
Thank you for
go
having
ahead.
thank you for having me. I'm Phil. I'm a longtime reader of Wheel of Time. I've read the series 7 times. I don't have my own webpage, but I'm always trying to share information without spoiling on every website and Discord that I find. It's a great series, and I'm always happy to discuss it. Thank you very much for having me.
Awesome. Kiran,
Yeah, hi everyone. I think you all know who I am from New Breeders, and we have already had so many connects with Angie. And yeah, I'm halfway into the series, loving it so far, and just can't wait to talk with all of you and share my opinions. Thank you, Angie, for having me on your channel again.
of course, and Pratik.
Yeah, this is Pratik. Thank you for having me, Angie. So I have read Over Time just once, and which a few years back. But I am a long-term follower of fantasy books, which you all know. And I'm just here to help you guys have some fun and to make your stream a nightmare by asking very difficult questions.
No, that's not allowed. I
There's
don't want
al-
to
there's
embarrass myself.
There's always one spoiler within the group, and we're talking about people, not the plot.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so we will go about it like this. Maybe take first 10 to 15 minutes for spoiler free discussion, just an overall what we thought about the book, book number three, and then we will go into full spoiler discussion only for book three up to book three, not beyond that. So that's what we'll do. I before we start off with that, I want to say that this is the copy of the book that I have, and I hate these covers. I hate these covers. I don't know who designed it, who approved it. It shouldn't be. I love that one. I wish I had that one.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's a beautiful
It's so,
cover. Seriously, it's such
right.
a cute copy, also, right? It's such a tiny copy, and
I
it's
like mass
beautiful.
market.
Yeah,
Yeah, that they are
Yeah.
so
yeah.
good. But these ones, I don't. I don't know who did the art design. I'm sorry, but it's not
I
good.
think the one which Phil has is the hardcover, right? Phil is the
No, this is a
hardcover.
soft cover with the original art by Daryl Sweet.
Yeah, there's it. Yeah.
I
I don't know if you
think
can
all
see it very well, but
MMPBs have the same cover as hardcovers and original paperbacks.
Yeah,
this
yeah.
one actually has the. It's hard to see here, but this one actually has a
Yeah,
color map on the inside of the front cover, and then it has the black and white map later on in the book as well.
it's nice.
Nice.
Yeah. Um. Okay, so what did you guys think overall about the book, and compared to the previous two books? What do you think? And yeah, just overall thought about it. Who would like to go first?
I'll go first.
Yes.
Nice. Nice, Anita. Yeah.
Okay. Uh, I mean, my thoughts are actually fluctuating. I loved book one. Of course, I have some criticisms, but that because I went into it with low expectations, because people told me that first book is like copy of a lot of the rings, and it will gets its own shape, take its own shape from book two. But I did not feel it that way. I loved book one. Character work was incredible. I wasn't expecting that. And then book two, I mean, because of book one's experience, I went into book two with a lot of enthusiasm, but it let me down because I wasn't a big fan of Rand, and most of the book two's follows Rand, and I don't like that reluctant hero trope, so it frustrated me a lot. But there are definitely good moments. So this book, when it started with the parents' POV, I was worried because parents' POV in the beginning is very similar to Rand's, him being rude to Moraine. Actually, I think I should stop listening to audiobook, because audiobook voice is same for Rand and Perrin, and
Very good point.
the way, yeah, and the way Kramer uses, the way they talk to Moraine, it was so rude. I'm getting frustrated actually. So, but once we start Egwene's and Nynaeve's POV, that intrigue and politics with Aes Sedai, I started enjoying it a lot. And the last part of the book, oh my God, Matt became one of my favorite characters in this book. Actually, I had a blast
Yeah,
reading this POV. I had so much fun.
nice,
I loved that part. That's it.
Okay,
nice,
awesome.
nice.
Yeah, yeah, who would like to go next? Maybe Kiran? Because Phil,
Oh,
I think Phil is
oh.
an expert, so I'll ask him last.
Okay. I think that like I look back on the first three books, then I think they follow very similar structure. So when I think about them, this whole like people going on their own and then just coming back at the end. So it's like very similar structure in the first three books. And I definitely agree with Anita for that Matt moment. I think it's such a highlight of this book and for his character also. And it just literally feels like it came out of nowhere and he becomes the hero. And yeah, I just love that. I really like that. But I also feel that I really like this book for Perrin, because of Perrin's internal struggles for whatever that happens in this book. There's this one moment that's like scary for him. So because I really love Perrin's character, so yeah, I really loved the book because of his character. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. But I do have to say, it's so weird that Rand is just literally non-existence, and then he comes for like one. I think there's just only one point where we see where he's just doing something extremely weird. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to talk about that scene. So yeah, it was a
Yeah.
interesting book. Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Excuse me. Prateek?
So my I don't know how to answer this. For the first three books, for me it's like the second book is the best one. Like it's way up above for me. Like first three books, they are like second book is way above. And like if you ask in the general like Wheel of Time fandom, so they will say that book two is where they got hooked into it because it's way darker. Like the first one, as like Anita said, many of us think that it's very the Fellowship of the Ring. The Shire kids are there; they are traveling, and the Moraine is like Gandalf, and everything is going there. So in the second book, the story takes its own form, and now in the third book we have that everything. And the first thing which is very weird about it, because the name of the book is The Dragon Reborn, and he's not there. He's not there at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's just that, and after it, I think this is for me a Perrin book. Definitely, this is a Perrin book for me.
Yeah.
And I like first book was fine for me for Perrin, and second book was mostly a Rand book for me. But this one was where I started liking Perrin a lot, and there's stuff which happens in the fourth book, which Kiran and Phil knows, which goes completely in a different direction. So I won't go on that. But yeah, this is definitely a like if I would say in a tier ranking, then I would say this is like a B tier book in terms of the Wheel of Time books. It's like a B tier book for me. So yeah, that's that.
Awesome. Phil, what about you? Expert opinion.
Expert opinion. You guys have really nailed some of the key points here. I think the third book, The Dragon Reborn, is essentially not a book about Rand. It's very much a book about the other characters. We can talk about the which happens multiple times, that the different characters do have their own stories and then they come together at the end. That happens quite often in some of these books without spoiling anything. But I think Dragon Reborn really develops the other characters. Instead of just them having their own adventures, they develop their own. We get to learn so much more about these characters. And Perrin and Matt have incredible storylines. And we learn so much more about them. And at the end, yes, the book culminates in the events at the Stone of Tyr, without spoiling it right now. But each character plays an important part in delivering that epic conclusion. Thank you.
That's awesome. Yeah, but for me, if you ask me, I think I wasn't hooked into the series until this book. Like Anita said, my experience was similar. I really loved book number 1. Book number 2 was kind of a letdown. I was expecting more, but yeah, it was. I don't know. I wasn't satisfied with it. But book number 3 was really, really what not I expected. Obviously, when I heard Dragon Reborn was the title, I thought, okay, we will see Rand now and his journey and stuff like that, but it was so surprising. But I'm not regretting that. I don't regret that. I think everything in this book, I have a small, I have issues with the books. We can get to it later, but overall, I think this, until now, book 1, if I have to rank book 1, 2, 3, then I would pick 3 first. So that's the overall opinion of this book. And yes, I'm in love with Matt now. He is so nice. In fact, his scenes are written so well and they are so entertaining and funny and hilarious. So, and I like a good humor, incorporated into this whole fantasy genre. So I like that. I enjoy that. So yeah, that's my thought about this. I think we can move into spoilers.
Spoilers, yeah. Let's put in that spoiler tag. Yeah, because I'm like,
only for this book, Kiran. Only for this book.
Don't get excited.
Yes, in fact, I made some notes to try to recollect all the different scenes in this book, and I had to remind myself not to give hints about upcoming events. We see foreshadowing in this book. It's very prevalent in many of or Jordan's books, and so I have to be very careful not to even insinuate anything in my expressions when I talk about things. It's difficult.
I also had to make notes. For last 1 hour, I was making notes. What to say?
I didn't make any notes. Okay, I didn't prepare. Okay, I'm just going to say. I'm just going to look at Angie. Whatever Angie is going to say, I'm just going to talk about that moment because I'm not going to talk about anything else. Yeah.
Okay, so I think we can start with the prologue. What did you think about the prologue? Because for me, I think we get several new insights into how these guys are, what's his name? The Children of Light, right? The whole zealous, extremist, religious nuts, I think. But I somehow get confused with their intention. Maybe you guys can clear it for me, because this. Again, somebody discussed this in our Discord also, I think, right, Pratik? Or was it some other subreddit? I don't remember. But the intentions of Children of Light, so they don't like Aes Sedai, but they believe in the Dragon Reborn. And I just cannot get the concept of Children of Light, because why are they so hostile towards these Aes Sedai? Who can answer that for me?
So I can say that. So basically, the thing with the White Lords and their dad, after the I call it the breaking of the world,
Hmm.
they blame people uh, with power, like the one
Unpowered.
power, to be to be the cause of it. Like they broke the world, because
Yeah.
if the world didn't have anyone with those type of power, those things wouldn't happen. So now, because we know there are no male Aes Sedai left. I mean, people are there with power, but there are no proper males there. So they hate female. Uh, the whole what call it,
White Tower.
the order.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Hmm.
the order, they hate them. Okay, and the thing is that they think that all of them are working for uh, the dark one. They
Hmm.
think that they
Okay.
are dark friends. Like each and
Hmm.
every Aes is a dark one, like a dark friend. Sorry.
Dark friends. Okay.
Okay,
But
and
they do believe in Dragon Reborn, right? I mean, like that he will fix the world.
I don't think so. I think,
No.
I mean, sorry,
see the
They
Pratik.
have,
prophecy.
yeah, I
Go
think
ahead.
they, yeah, sorry. I was just saying that they basically have negative feelings for our trio also, right? Because of whatever that happened earlier. So that is also one of the trigger for them that happened
Mm.
in like the first book, right? So
Mm-hmm.
basically they also think that these people are dark friends. It's just like whatever that like, yeah, they just don't like Rand, Matt and Perrin, and they just think that they're dark friends, and they also just don't like Aes Sedai. Yeah, because they also think
Mm,
that they are also dark friends. Yeah.
I think they feel like I think they're maybe xenophobes. Anybody
Mm.
who doesn't conform to them, who's not clad in the light, in the white as they are, is different and something they have to oppose. But they recognize some of the prophecies, and they even say that undoubtedly at some point we're going to have to side with the Aes Sedai to defeat the Dark One. But until they get to that point, they're very much against anybody who isn't like them.
Mm. Connect.
Immediately after book 2, they're also very enraged about what occurred in Falme, and so they're particularly negative against anybody who could be who wields power, whether it's good or bad. They just feel it's not them, and they have to oppose it.
Got it. Mhm. Yeah, but so that's why this prologue is maybe kind of little bit hard hitting, because we get to see that some of the White Locks, or at least one of them, is a dark friend,
Dark
and
friend.
that was kind of a nice shocking revelation. I think I don't know if you guys saw it coming before, but I didn't.
Actually,
So
actually,
there's also
in Great Hunt prologue, there was this the Dark Friend meeting with the Dark Lord. We get one perspective. I think that perspective is the one of these Children of Light. That was
Do you,
my
do you
hint.
oh,
remember the name of the guy in the Dark Friend social?
Bears or boars? I wrote it down.
Bors.
I forgot.
Boars.
Well
Boars.
done.
Boars.
Bors. Well done. Bors. Yes, that's right.
Boars. Yeah.
And we
And
don't
then
get.
one other person is there also. There's another person
Shh,
who's
don't
been given a task.
That's
don't
right.
tell, don't know spoilers. Kiran,
Okay, nothing from my end.
go ahead, Phil.
Oh
Go
no,
ahead,
that's all.
Phil.
I just
there
wanted
another
to
thing.
remind. Go ahead.
There are nothing about the like the backlog thing. They also hate the fact that Aes Sedai has too much like power over the world, because they are basically the top of the food
Mm.
chain. They are not, at least Morgase is, but like we know who controls Morgase really. We know that, okay, and we know that what kind of intentions like Eliza has. So that, and plus the amount of like power they have over the world, uh, they they just don't like that. And
They don't
of
like
course
that. Yeah.
there's all the what do you call it? They are female and all that. I
Mm-hmm.
won't get into all that.
Okay, got it. So that was the prologue. Anything else you guys want to talk about in prologue? Something that struck you?
Pedan Fane.
That
Uh,
guy. He
I mean,
is full of mystery. I mean, seriously, I've like read like half of the series and he's still a mystery for me. So
Oh,
yeah, I
okay.
don't know what's going on with him. I have no idea. Seriously.
uh,
I,
I
I,
mean,
I actually
he's
think I actually think Peta and Fane could have been developed a little bit better in this series. He has a role in a number of books without spoiling future events. But I think some of his mysteries could have been a little bit better developed by Jordan. Just in my opinion, there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it
Okay.
feels like it feels like Jordan wants to talk about him, but it just feels like he doesn't know how to put it. So it's always like something is coming,
I
something
think
is coming. You get this feeling that yeah, something's wrong. Okay, and
I
he's
think
going to do something evil. Yeah,
I
but we
think
don't
he
get
used
anything.
I think he
Yeah,
used
please.
Pedan Fane as a character who create chaos. There is a term,
Very, exactly right.
Mm.
yeah. He's the person who create chaos everywhere. I mean, he's the reason where thing plot take turns, but he won't play the major role.
Yeah, yeah. But you actually feel, right? I mean, the way that he talks about his character and the powers that he has, and the way that he's so self-important, I feel. He's always like bragging about what he is and how different he is. And you always feel that, yeah, he's going to do something. But it's just that he always make other people do stuff. He just never does anything on his own. So yeah, it's weird.
Um. Yeah. That's it about
The
prologue.
thing about what Kiran said, that like Jordan had seems to be like wanted to say something, but he didn't say that. Like we have to keep in mind the original plan for Video Time was just 3 books,
Hmm.
Mm.
and
Hmm,
it
hmm, hmm.
spread into 14 books. So you know, writers have plans in the starting that we will do this, but it kept
Hmm.
He
increasing
spread it
into.
across books, I think. Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe.
the original plan was to have 3 books, but then he changed it to 6 books, and then he changed it to 12 books. And when he passed away, but Sanderson changed the 12th book into 3 books, so it became 14 books.
Well,
Nice.
not to disparage Robert Jordan, but certainly money talks. You know, he had some very successful books, and the publisher said, "Well, you know, you have a great writing style. I think we can develop this, put more story into it." And I can see
Right.
with that they would want to encourage him to add more tales to the story, and he had to develop it along the way, add new villains and new plot twists.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that could be that. I think that is the reason, right? And maybe that's why people complain about some books which are kind of slog in the. I don't know which books they are. Maybe 7, 8. Um.
Seven
So
to
maybe
ten,
that's why he's 7 to 10.
7 to
Okay.
10, yeah.
Right. And are they all 800-page, 900-page monsters, or how long are they? Yeah. Oh my God.
I think there's seven. I think a few of those are 7 to 800 pages, not 1,000 pages. But
Mm-hmm.
you know, we'll get into that at another live stream, perhaps. But they did say that he was having some health issues at the time, and he was doing his best to sum up the series, and perhaps it wasn't 100% of his full effort. It's possible that that contributes to the reason why these books weren't as tight as some of the other stories.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Correct.
Yeah. I think when we're discussing the book, I think the best way is to go character wise. I'm thinking that way. If you have other ideas, let me know. But I think maybe we can start with Perrin, because for me, I think he's one of the prominent characters. Even though Matt is my favorite, I also loved Perrin in this. A lot of characters got a good arc in this book, and Perrin is one of them. And I loved the his storyline in this book particularly. So, what do you guys think of Perrin? What did you guys feel? And yeah, in general, what do you think about Perrin?
In first two books, actually, I liked Perrin a lot. I mean, in those three, Perrin was definitely my favorite. Even in this book, actually, beginning of this book surprised me because in book two, he used his newly developed powers to track and follow, but I thought he became comfortable. I thought he accepted, but in the beginning of this book, he again went back to not accepting it, not allowing wolves to talk to him. I mean, when I think about it, I understand his worries that he is nervous that he'll become wolf and all. I understand, but at the same time, I was like, come on, listen to them. They're trying to warn you. You know. And maybe because of the audiobook, he frustrated me in the beginning, but at the same time, his character got really well developed in this book. I really liked that he saved that Isle man from that
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Cage.
jail.
Cage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cage. And yeah, I really like the development. It's only in that beginning first 5 6 chapters, I did not like that.
Yeah. Also, the way he was so traumatized by seeing the other guy who is
Yeah,
acting like a wolf man, and then he sets him free. I don't know if
Whoa.
it was the
Yeah.
right choice to do to let him free, but he could
Seriously.
empathize with him. But he could empathize with him, and then and he didn't. That traumatized him. Okay, if I don't control my powers, maybe this is how I will end up as. Right. So that scene really touched me a lot. Actually,
yeah.
I was.
From that scene itself, I was more understanding actually. Before that, I
Mhm.
was actually pissed with him. That scene, okay, made me think, okay, I understand now. Okay, you have, this dilemma, you are worried. I totally get it. I
Right.
Yeah,
was more
I
understanding from there.
I also agree that meeting Noam, I think his name was Noam, in
Mhm.
the cage was a very divisive scene for him in developing his character. He really he understood and he began to fear actually his powers and what he's capable of doing and what he's capable of becoming. And he had no choice but to free Noam. I think it was to let him run free, but at the same time, he wasn't certain whether he could accept that fate. And we learn about his powers developing throughout the book.
Yeah, I think I loved Perrin from the first book itself, because I think the way that they present him as someone who's bigger, so he always has to look at the others around him because he's so much stronger, that he has that thing that, yeah, he needs to protect everyone. And in this book also, when they are in the camp, that tinker woman, when she dies, the kind of stress that he feels, that, yeah, this woman, she has died because of whatever that's happening around them, and the way that he feels so protective of everyone. So yeah, I mean, I just love his character so much. He's such a sweet person. And the fact
Yeah.
that I hate in this book is File. And I hate that this woman is the love
Oh my
interest
God,
of my favorite character. I fucking hate it. I hate her.
she's swearing.
I hate her.
Don't
Okay,
throw
I hate
stuff
her
at
with a
her.
passion. And I'm like,
Oh
he's
yeah, me
literally
too.
such a sweet,
Seriously,
sweet soul.
I,
Yeah, I mean, just
I share that
imagine.
sentiment. Yeah, I
You
share
know,
that
Yeah.
someone
sentiment
else,
totally.
someone else also said this in other Discord, but at least I did not. I mean, I did not develop that hatred in this book yet. Yet,
Oh
Oh my
no, I
god.
hate her,
She's
and I
so
was so
annoying.
disappointed that he fell for her. Like, kind of, right? Like they
Ah,
are.
seriously.
I
Seriously.
don't. I didn't. I was like hoping throughout the book, please, Perrin, don't fall for her. Please, Perrin, don't fall. But hopefully, in the
Why?
future books, if she
I
gets a
mean,
redemptive
she
arc,
didn't.
I'm fine with it. Yeah, but
I am surprised because she did not have much arc, for that hatred. Actually, why? I was like,
oh,
she did not do
no,
anything for that hatred.
Really? Really, Anita?
no, she
Really?
was
She's so
annoying. I hated in this book. One is what's it? How to pronounce? How I don't know how to pronounce her name. File,
File,
or
file,
Fail,
file,
yes.
file.
File.
Yeah.
Okay. And there's another person, and that's also a woman. I'll get to that, but later on. I think if you've
Berlin.
seen the review, you know who it
Berlin.
is. No.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I,
So yeah, go ahead, Phil.
no, I was thinking if I couldn't find it off the cuff, but I think it wasn't. Didn't she make Perrin follow behind in the ways
Yeah.
uh, like,
Yeah. But
like a
not in this
dog,
book, I
like a
guess.
dog, like a
Not
dog.
in this book.
Not in this book. Oh, sorry.
No, not in this book. Not in this book.
I
That's
wouldn't be
Never
what
joking.
mind.
That's not a spoiler.
this book
That's not a
nothing
spoiler.
happen this book nothing happens when it comes to her character other
That's
than
right.
her taunting Perrin. Actually nothing happens.
Yeah.
That's why I was
And
like,
don't you? Okay,
why?
Anita, 1 minute. Okay, don't you think the way she looks at him is so damn creepy? Just imagine if
Oh,
the genders were reversed.
exactly.
I mean, if the genders were
Exactly.
reversed, right, you would feel that creepiness. It's so damn creepy.
Okay, see, even genders were received. I will say like, okay, this person sounds creepy, looks creepy. That's it. I will not go into that. I hate it. For me to develop that passion and hatred, they need to do something beyond that. Actually, beyond looking.
Keep reading.
Mm.
Keep reading.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
Don't
I mean,
tell.
I understand. It's okay.
Yeah,
I think
but then
these
she pops out
these
of nowhere.
these two know. I think these two know, like Kiran and Phil know that I have a personal hate agenda with File.
Yeah.
She's my most hated character in the entire series, and no, she does not get any redemption. She keeps getting more irritating to the point you're like just kill her off.
Oh my
She's
God.
very annoying.
Yeah, she is. She is.
Yeah.
I
Seriously.
think her character is the worst thing that happened to Perrin in the
Yeah,
entire
I
books.
completely agree.
Wow,
And
wow.
he's such a sweet soul and he's so protective. And I think she's so manipulative. I think, yeah, and that's something that I hate about her. And the way that she manipulates Perrin, okay? And he's just so sweet and she's just always manipulating him. And yeah, I mean, maybe it's not that evident in this book. I don't know. But yeah, I just know about her character and it boils my blood. I'm like, why? Why?
I have a
Yeah.
question, but I'm not sure that you two should know or not. Do you know who is the Falcon and the Hawk?
No, they will
She's
not.
a falcon, right?
I
File
know
is a
That's why I'm
falcon.
asking.
I know the answer to that, and I won't answer that right now.
Yeah.
I
I know
have
now.
who's
I know
Hawk.
now. The other one.
Because Bond was reading, he couldn't get it. But I think you guys should know by this book. I'm not sure about that. If this
Yeah,
book or
they'll know. Yeah,
they'll
they'll
I
know
know
know.
that.
File is falcon, right? And I don't know who Hawk is. I have no
Yeah,
idea.
Fael is definitely the Falcon. There is another character.
Old tongue thing, right? It's in the old tongue. It means falcon. The name itself, right?
Yeah, that
Mhm.
file is Falcon. And he all himself, Perrin himself said that. But Hawk, I'm thinking maybe now you said that other person, maybe that Berlin. I don't know. It's theory.
But okay. Apart from this thing, okay, I wanted to ask you regarding this thing where Balzaman and Sirlene, they have this tendency to go into people's dreams, especially these Taverans, and try to manipulate it. What do you think about it? Because now when I look back on it, it feels very weird to me. Like, why would they do that? I mean, it feels very unnecessary to me now. So, what do you think about that?
I think it's their way of manipulating them, their actions or their paths. Since it is easy to write in a story as a dream, that's the path Jordan chose. But I think it's essentially their way to manipulate their actions and guide them in the way they want.
But if you really think about it, do you really feel that random people coming to your dream? would you really trust them? I mean, if you really think about it, it feels very weird to me that this is the kind of path that they chose. So yeah, I mean, I was like, yeah, that's
Yeah,
shady af. Sorry, but it feels very shady.
I think it's again a plot device, maybe like Anita said
Yeah,
that Robert Jordan
yeah.
chose, and also like as a manipulative, device, like to steer them in or to scare them or yeah, or to steer them in the way he wants them to move. I don't know. Phil, go ahead. You wanted to say something.
I wanted to say that I think each of the Forsaken are alone. They don't have friends. They have people who they have people that hate them, and
Mm-hmm.
I think in some weird way this is a way for them to become friends with their opponents.
Yeah.
They invade their dreams. They try to befriend them, even if they have nefarious purposes, because that's
That's
the only
I'll be
friendship
back in
they,
two
they
minutes.
can have.
Guys, I'll be back in 2 minutes.
okay.
I
Sure,
got someone.
Sure.
sure,
Sure. Yeah.
sure. Yeah,
That's
Phil,
very
that is such a
that's
brilliant,
that's
brilliant
actually a
argument.
nice way. You're humanizing them actually.
I
It's
don't
like
think
the
that that was the
it's
intention, but it's
it's a
great.
it's a Wheel of Time version of Twitter. I think how to get under people's skin, bully them, manipulate them, and all that.
Oh
So
my god.
yeah,
Oh,
um,
that
yeah,
was
that's
funny.
that's the thing.
That was funny.
So
Yeah.
Phil, a question to you because you have read the book multiple times. So there are these what do you call it, the darker, shady characters, right? So you have the dark one, and I'm assuming it is the same as Balsamon, but now after the last scene in this book, I'm kind of confused because we know that the person whom Rand killed is not the dark one, and it was Balsamon. So it's a little bit confusing for me. Then you have the dark friends, then something called Soulless, right? That was
Soulless.
introduced
Yeah.
in this
Gray
Yeah.
So,
book, the
men.
so,
Gray
so
Man.
Solan's Gray Men,
Grayman.
yes.
Grayman. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Gray Man. So, and then you have these Forsaken, and then you. So I think I understand Dark Friends, uh, but what's the difference between Forsaken and these Gray Men and okay, I think yeah, these two are the main things that I'm a little bit confused about.
Okay. Well,
I
first of
think
all, the Forsaken don't call themselves Forsaken. They call themselves, important to note, they call themselves the Chosen. Uh,
Chosen. Yep.
uh, so they've been chosen to be elevated, to be closer to the Dark One. The Dark One is the one who remains locked up in the eternal prison in the Boar. He doesn't have a physical presence in the world, so he needs minions, minions to do his work. The Chosen are the ones that are closest to him to do those activities. Now, one of the Chosen was, and I won't mention the name because I don't recall exactly where it's talked about, but one of the Chosen is responsible for creating soulless creatures. The Gray Men. He was the one who developed some of these creatures. That was one of his talents, and he sent out these creatures in the world to terrorize people. That was part of his persona.
Oh, okay.
The Dark Friends themselves are people who not necessarily generally are aligned with the Dark One, but don't necessarily have powers, or they're
Right.
considered very very low characters, low reputation characters, in the scheme of things.
They're the people,
Got it.
basically, and they can be manipulated by the Forsaken also because of the
They're always
powers that they
manipulated.
have.
If
Yeah.
Yeah.
every single one
Yeah.
of
Yeah,
them is
that's true.
manipulated in a different way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's basically that I'm trying to say. So basically it's just the people following the bad people. So yeah, that's what you can become a dark friend if you do their bidding. It could be in any way that they can manipulate you, whether emotionally or through other means. So yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
a dark friend can actually become a dark friend against their will.
Hmm.
Hmm.
And we'll learn a little bit later on, but some people are forced to become dark friends through coercion and manipulation,
Manipulation.
and are trapped as dark friends and can't actually escape.
Got it. Okay. And moving on to a more my controversial opinion that I hold about this book is the girls.
Okay, drum rolls.
The girls, the three of them.
Yeah.
Oh my God! I don't know what they were doing in the book. They were just
Ah.
there, and I
Hmm.
mean, I didn't feel any of them got an arc or anything, and I cannot stress this enough. I know many people will hate me for saying this, but I hated Nynaeve in this so much. I didn't like the way she dealt with the Emerald Seed, how the tone that she took with her, and her attitude towards other. She's she's just arrogant. I don't know what's the point. I understand the justification people give why she is the way she is, because she feels protective about her group from the element field, and she has to be the elder one, but you can do all that without being an absolute rude person. So I know a lot of people disagree with me, and oh my God, what's up with the tugging of the hair? I started counting, and because I knew this was coming, because I have heard it so many times, people complaining about this. I wanted to see for real if this is actually something, that people just made up, or it's actually something real. And it was, because after some time I just gave up counting because there were
So
so
you
many
have a
instances of
so you have a hair tugging counter. Oh my god.
counter I had. So
Oh my
yeah,
god.
because I expected so much from the girls, especially I wanted more from Egwene. Because I loved Egwene in book number 1 and 2, and even in the series, the adaptation. I like the actress who did it. In fact, you know what? I like Nynaeve in the adaptation than the Nynaeve in the book. I don't know
Yeah,
why.
she's a lot less annoying in the series. I do feel that
Right.
way. But I'll say this thing, that in this book at least, I think the major focus was on Egwene, I think, because of this entire Telronriad thing. And she's also like, she's the one who's actually learning this about
The
the
dream
dream
world.
world. Yeah, and working with the Tarang Real and all that, right? So I think the major focus was on her character, at least for me, as what I remember. And I do feel that yes, Nynaeve is very, very annoying, especially in the earlier books. I completely agree with you. But I think this character, I think the way that she changes and becomes this new character, is this ride is something that people just love so much, and I also really
Hmm.
love it. And I think this her protectiveness is what makes her so interesting. I mean, just imagine, she's the wisdom, and even if she's outside Emmy's feet, she is still a wisdom. She always
Yeah.
considers her a wisdom, and because she's older, she feels that protectiveness. So yeah.
I told this in my review also, uh, that they are so busy bickering among themselves that they just walk into traps. Just straight
Yeah.
walk into traps. They are not careful. They are not observant about what's happening around. Uh, so this is what I felt. Anita, you're so silent. What do you think about the girls?
Uh, Actually, I loved girls in book one and book two. Book one, Egwene was my favorite. Book two, Nynaeve was my favorite. The way she saved Egwene with the help of Min and Elaine. But in book three, I definitely think that bickering got to me, mostly because actually um, it was so unnecessary. It felt like Jordan included that to create some drama, because both of them want the same thing.
Hmm.
I understand Naini's point of view here. She's wisdom. She's used to that authority in her village. Everyone listens to her. She put everyone in their place.
Place.
So she's not willing to accept either Moraine's guidance or Amberlin's authority. I get that, and she treats Egwene as a child, but what I did not like is there is no development or willing to learn to deal with the
Mhm.
situation in her. That got to me actually. And yeah, that could have written better, but I refuse to hate characters because of that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I think, yeah,
Nice.
I agree with that, Anita. But for at this stage, I think she was written to be, maybe Robert Downey intended us to feel that way, maybe. So it is intentional. But for now, if you just think about the world and only the character, then I would hate her. Like, I'm like, okay, okay, give some respect, girl, like that. So, honestly, I expected more from them because they were my favorite. Like, these powerful girls, and now they have this opportunity to train on their power and become something, and but then they are wasting it on altogether, because and they are in such a dire situation where even the White Tower, or itself, is not safe anymore, right? So in such a serious situation, they, instead of concentrating on that, focusing on that, they are just fighting among each other.
But
That's
I
what,
also
like,
feel,
really.
yeah, I also feel this thing. Don't you think, Angie? Like they are the new accepted, but they were given the task to go after the Black Aja. Don't you think they have a lot more authority, at least in the White Tower, if you really think about it?
Well, they were given a lot more power, but
Exactly.
they still have a novice's title. It's actually
Exactly.
contradictory, and
Yeah, I mean, they become the accepted in this book, I guess, if I'm not wrong, right?
See, they became accepted, but the Black Aja I mean, they were given that task in secret, not public. In
But
public, they are
still,
supposed to
the
act like a regular accepted, but they did not get that memo.
yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But if you
Or
really
they
think
just.
about it, I mean, just think
Mhm.
from the Aes Sedai perspective, from the Ajab perspective, like from the White Tower perspective. Like these people are like people, the women here, they train for years, okay, and then they become so much more important, or they become accepted from novices. I think they were given a lot more things to handle so early on. So I do feel that they have actually been given a lot of tasks, but I do feel that that entire thing, right, where they are just going through the stuff of the ice black Aja, Aes Sedai who left, and the way that they were able to find the clues to go to Tier, I do feel that it was done in a way it feels very weird. Yeah, it was not that interesting, I definitely feel, but I do feel that they have a lot more authority in the White Tower in comparison to all the other accepted, at least. Yeah.
I think we have a this is an unusual perspective. We're only introduced to women who have strong channel ability to channel. The three of them have strong abilities. Many of the women in the tower don't have this
Hmm.
natural born
Yeah.
ability. They have to develop their ability. So that they may have leadership capability and management capability, but they're weak in the power. So it takes them many years to develop, to
Hmm.
improve, to strengthen in their magic. I think this trio incorrectly believes that because they're born with so much power, that immediately they're given the authority to do whatever they want with it, and that's. And so I think we see that, and we also see some infighting, of course, in between them.
Elaine is the one that I just don't like. I don't know why, but I think out of Egwene, Nynaeve, and Elaine is the least likable, I think, for me
I mean,
personally.
so far, I like her actually. I mean, she did not have much to do until now. I mean, we followed Egwene and Nynaeve have more roles, but so far she did not annoy me at all. She's cute actually. I like her,
Yeah,
and
I
I
think
like
yes,
Elaine. Yeah.
I think
and
she's
yes,
very
I agree.
self-important. She's very self-important. I think she
She is the
feels,
princess. I mean, she's
yeah,
right to that character, and I agree with
yeah.
Channing.
She's expected to become queen. She's expected to behave in a certain fashion, and
Right.
and she does, and she carries herself in that way, even as a novice and then an accepted.
She was
Uh,
trying to behave like that actually, and Egwene and Nynaeve weren't trying. Even they behave like that, and I agree with Channing
Yeah.
here. Actually, I was annoyed Egwene, especially in that scene, but I also like the fact that Elaine put her in place immediately, and at the same time, Egwene understood immediately. She did not argue. She did not fight back. She kept quiet.
yeah.
That part I liked it.
See, that's the difference between Egwene and Nynaeve. Imagine if it was Nynaeve, she would have retaliated instead of just keeping quiet.
Elaine wouldn't have slapped Nynaeve. She wouldn't
Dead.
have cared.
Yeah.
Elaine would lose her mind if she would ever do that to Ninety.
And
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
what
oh,
did you? Yeah,
one
go ahead.
minute. Since we are in this topic, I have a question. I think I already know the answer, but I want a confirmation from you guys.
Mhm.
When they were here, actually, in I said, what is that tower? White Tower.
Mhm.
Celine came in Elle's body, right? So,
Yeah. Yeah.
Angie, are you following me? You have this confused look.
No, I don't. Yeah, go ahead. Maybe I'll get it.
Okay, does I mean they said Amrylin said that we already sent Els home. She's not here
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
So does
Oh,
this mean Celine killed Els, or even without killing, she has the power to take that shape?
What do you
Spoiler.
think? I
If
want
it,
to know what do you think first.
I mean, I think she killed her, but I just hope she did not kill that stupid innocent girl. But I think she killed her.
I actually
Okay,
don't.
if it is a spoiler, don't tell.
is that a
I
spoiler?
actually, I actually
If
don't
it's a
recall the
spoiler, don't
answer to
answer.
that. I actually don't recall whether that particular character survives, so I can't answer it. But
Yeah.
I think we're introduced into to Celine. She appears several times throughout the book. She has a role to play. She has roles to play in the future as well. And I think that's all I want to comment about her for the time being.
Yeah. Same. Same. I would also be diplomatic and say the same thing. I agree with Phil. Whatever he's saying.
Okay, then we'll
Yeah.
keep it that way then. So, Pratik has just commented saying that Nynaeve supremacy. No, we don't agree.
No, Nynaeve is cool, yeah. Nynaeve will get her share of experiences and learnings, I think. Yeah, just give her some time, please. Please.
And coming to another interesting part, which I really enjoyed was the introduction that we finally get about the Aiel and their culture, and little bit insight into what they are and
Mhm.
how fearsome they are. That's something that I really enjoyed reading in this book.
you know
What do you guys want to talk about it?
I
Yeah.
cannot wait to get to Ale and get to know more of them, because even in book
Oh,
two itself, when they first met Isle guy, I mean I when we first heard of that prophecy, I thought in book three we travel to Isle. But I mean, I liked both this parent saving, at the same time girls meeting those Isle women, and Isle came and
yeah,
saving
they
them.
meet Avienda. Yeah, they meet
Yeah,
Avienda in this book. Yeah.
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 I can, I mean, those prophecies and that background intrigued me so much. I cannot wait to travel there. Actually, that's my favorite prophecies out of all so far.
Yeah, they're anxiously searching for the one who comes with the dawn.
The Dawn.
Yeah.
Yeah. The people of
Yeah.
the dragon.
People of the dragon. That's
People of the
right.
Dragon.
That's
Yeah.
so cool. Actually, that's so cool.
Yeah, that's so cool. I completely agree. And okay, can we like talk about okay. Yeah, maybe we shouldn't. Okay. Moving
Spoilers?
on.
No. No. No, and also, I think the role Lan and Moraine played in this also was kind of on the sidelines, right? It was very like you just see them as part of the story for Matt and Perrin and these girls, but we don't see them as the main characters anywhere. This is my understanding, and I think I would have loved to see a little bit more about what Moraine is thinking, and yeah, their story as well. They got sidelined, I feel. Did you
I
feel the
think
same?
for I think for Moraine in this book, I just feel her you just feel her frustration in this book for whatever points that you see her povs, like whatever that you at least from her actions, and she's just trying whatever she can, I guess. And it's
Mm-hmm.
so weird. You just see, you if you compare the Moraine of this book with the Moraine of book 1 and 2, how
Mm.
different it
See,
is, and
of
you're like,
course,
oh my god.
see, Kiran, of course she's frustrated. I'll tell you one scene. Actually, from the beginning it happened, but it was direct here. I was when File was sent to that dream-like state in that
Array.
room when she fell into the trap which was
Hmm.
set for
Yeah,
Moraine. Perrin
The
came first.
hedgehog trap.
Yeah,
she
Perrin
put
came.
herself there, she put
Yeah,
herself there.
yeah, she fell into the trap which was set for Moraine. When
Yeah.
Perrin came first, behind him Moraine was there. Even then, Perrin was like, "Tell me," I said, "Hey, what happened to her? You tell me." I was like, "Why? Give her some chance to read that situation first." I was so
Right.
frustrated. So I totally understand Moraine's frustration here. Because she's trying to understand, because Ilian was getting ruled by one of the dark friends. Moraine realized that Tear has a dark friend Lord. So she has to connect those dots and come to this conclusion that dark friends are there in every major city. She has so much in her brain, I mean mind. I understand her frustration. At the same time, I get that Perrin did not like feel no one likes being manipulated. Even I won't like it. But these Emanfielders are all so impatient. They don't give that chance to other
They're
person.
teenagers, yeah. What do you expect? They're teenagers. What do
They're,
you
Right.
expect? Yeah.
oh my god! But
Yeah, can we
I
talk about Rand now? It's his book.
I mean, I think I just wanted more of Rand, but I'm not complaining. We didn't get it because what we got was good enough. Um, I wanted that end epic battle scene to be more impactful. I think it just got over too quickly. It was too easy. That's what I felt about that battle. I was like, okay, he's fighting the Dark One. This is the, epic battle. It should be epic and all that. And it did not happen. And maybe later on, it gave me kind of an explanation or a justification why it was underwhelming. Maybe because then we realized that this was not the Dark One, and the fight is not
That's right.
over. This is just a small part of it. And maybe that's why, we didn't get the full-fledged fight scene or battle scene or encounter that we expected. That was my feeling about Rand, and his, because we don't see him after the first few moments in the book. Then we just hear where he might be from others talking or others referring to him, and then only in the last part of the book when we get to see him. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's my thought about Rand.
we experienced and we heard stories, like you said, along the way of his Taveran impact on
Yeah.
people along the way, the mass weddings, the
Mm-hmm.
strange events that occurred along the way.
Yeah.
But you have to mention the campfire. Do you remember the campfire?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I want to talk about that. Oh my god. That is such a cool scene. I mean, not cool. Yeah, that brutal scene.
Brutal.
Brutal. Oh my god. I think I really like how you see a completely 180 personality of Rand in that moment. And oh my god.
Mm.
Phil, maybe we should talk about this. Let's talk about that
No,
scene.
please
Yeah.
go ahead. It's an amazing scene, and
Yeah.
it takes putting together all the pieces until the end of the scene, until you realize how he came to the realization that that he had to do the action he did. Should we spoil what he did during the scene, or do we hold that back?
I think they have read the book, so they
Have
know
we all?
what happened.
We've all read it, right? So
Book
it
three,
was
yes. Yeah.
So it was an unusual choice to slaughter the 11 people at the campfire.
Yeah.
But only at the end of the scene do we realize why he did so, because he counted 11 people instead of 10 people, and
10
realized that
people.
one person snuck in, and the 11th person was a gray man.
I
Crazy
mean,
that was.
when at the beginning of that scene, I was shocked. Then I was like, maybe they are dark friends. Maybe I'll know that. I was like waiting for that, and then, but
Hmm.
still, killing 10 people, that change. Even though he's brutal in that scene, actually, I felt more understanding for Rand in this book rather than Great Hunt, because in Great Hunt he was more reactionary. We did not see what he is going through in his mental state, how his emotions were in that. But in this, because of be it through dreams, or whatever those glimpses we got, I kind of got to see how crazy he's going with all this, people trying to kill me, his own, I mean, though he is seeing his own parents faces, his own friends faces, coming and trying to kill him. That drives anyone crazy, actually.
Crazy.
So i
Seriously.
felt I felt sad for him in this book. Actually, I did not hate him in this book at all.
I completely agree with you, but I also have this other perspective that the way he made those dead bodies kneel to him, I mean, if you really think about it,
Yeah.
that's that's some different level shit. I'm like, that arrogance, and that was the word that was coming in my mind. I'm like, what is he doing? Like, yeah, I mean, I get it that they are bad people, I get it, but why does he have to go to that level to make these dead bodies kneel to him and kind of have that thing that I'm the Dragon Reborn and everyone's gonna kneel to me and all that? Oh my god, that's a very that's a one scene that I just hate. And I think, but I also feel that it's very interesting because I feel bad for him as a character, but I also feel whatever that he's becoming, it's
it's
going to go really bad for him
it's it's
from this point.
it's very important scene even for us as readers, to see that how Rand had changed, actually.
Yeah,
Transformation. Yeah.
and
seriously.
His
and
evolution.
actually, even after all this, at the end I was little frustrated when, after he killed Balsam, and he was like, in first book he killed him, he came back. In second book he came back. In
Yeah,
third book he was like, I
exactly.
killed. Come on, man, learn something from the past.
Right. So yeah, that's what the thing is. So basically, okay, now we're talking about Balzaman and the Dark One. So these two are two different people, right? Or different entities, right?
Okay,
These
Angie, I
The
have a
Dark
question.
One.
Okay,
Go
tell me
ahead.
who is killed. Who's killed by the end of this book? Just tell me that. Who do you think is killed?
Balzaman.
It was said that it could be one of the Forsaken Ishaimel, actually. At the end it was said
Okay.
that.
The
Yeah. So
the dark one resurrects characters, and so it is believed that Balzamun is the resurrection of Ishamel.
Ishmael. Okay. So Ishmael is also a character. I think it's mentioned throughout the books here and there. Just sprinkled here and there throughout. It's kind of intriguing for me. And I recently saw in one of the Wheel of Time big Wheel of Time channels, YouTube channels, they had a character study. I didn't get into it because I didn't want any spoilers. So I'm assuming he's a very prominent character, even though at least till book three we don't get much of him. We do see him referred to in many instances, but I'm expecting him to be a prominent character in the future books. I'm thinking because if the fans are doing huge, big character studies, so he should be a prominent character. I'm thinking.
I think that character Balzamun underestimated Rand's capabilities initially, and he took him for granted.
Yep.
Mm.
But this
Yep.
character is a lot stronger than he appears to be, and he made some mistakes, and we all make mistakes, and Balsamon made mistakes and allowed himself to be killed by Rand. It was a little bit unexpected given his power level, but I think we will see him again in the future.
Right. And what about what do you call it? Matt. Okay, so can we go to Matt because he is
Yes,
something.
please. Next voice
Yeah,
I'm waiting.
please. Yeah, and
So
you know that scene where the girls he protected them and they just disrespected him. I hate that
oh,
scene. I hate
me
that.
too. I wanted to
I
just
hate
punch
that
him.
scene.
He was
Seriously,
like,
man. That
okay, I saved you guys, and this is what he could be. This very nice. He reminds me of somebody like the sidekick in heist movies, which is a funny one. You know, something like that. That's the
comic
vibe that
relief.
Matt gives me.
Yeah,
Comic relief. I thought
comic relief. He's always a cat. He's always a character. Not so serious, but when it comes down to it, he delivers what is necessary.
Mhm.
Actually, I like his development. I mean, it's not surprising actually, because even in book two, at the end, when Rand was like, I saw Egwene in the building, I need to go to save her.
Hmm.
Matt was like, even though he was dying at that time, actually, he needs to go to Tarvalon immediately to get
Yeah.
rid of that dagger. Even then, he
Dagger,
was
yeah.
like, when you said Egwene is there, I believe you. Do you think I would leave her and go? He said that. I was like, so
Wow.
that bond was already there actually.
There.
It's
Yeah.
developed in more in this book, because though it was dangerous, though he was alone, he did not think, he did not hesitate to go after saving the girls. That was awesome. It was for comic relief for his character, but at the same time it's not just for comic relief
Oh no,
actually.
no, no, of course not. Yeah, yeah, I agree.
But they did him dirty. They disrespected him, and I
That,
hate them for
Of
that.
course.
I
see,
hate them.
yeah,
Yeah.
see, they shouldn't have done that. At the same time, I understand in their perspective. Actually, they all grew up together, and he was always an idiot who always gets into trouble, gets other people into trouble. So they always were like, they weren't used to, giving him credit, or because in their experiences, if you give him credit, he will be like, show attitude and all. It it was dirty. I don't did not like it, but I don't hate them for it.
You
Hmm.
remember in
Okay.
the first book they talked about him chasing badgers and
Yeah.
Hmm.
throwing badgers in a sack and playing pranks on people.
People. Yeah.
So the girls. He still, he still acts that way, and the girls disrespected him. They thought that he didn't have any redeeming qualities, and they should have given him a little more his due.
Yeah, but I also kind of feel that he is the kind of character who he thinks that if a person is a woman, she needs to be protective. I think he has this kind of
It's good.
ideology towards women. He thinks that at least he thinks that they're weak and they need to be protective. They need to be
I
protected.
I think
So yeah,
actually I
I
got
think
that from
Perrin thinks
Perrin
that.
actually, because
Yeah,
from
exactly.
Matt.
Matt would have come even for Perrin and Rand actually. He has bond with everyone. He has that protective instinct, that friendship. But I got that girls save that thing with Perrin actually, because he wanted to save that uh, uh, Tinker woman. What is the
Tinker
name? I
woman.
Yeah, yeah,
forgot.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Leah,
There is
Leah, Leah, right?
yeah,
Leah.
but there is official name for those actually traveling people in this in
Tinkers.
this
Tinkers? Tuathan?
Tuathan.
Tuatha.
Satan,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
So
yeah.
when she wanted to save that person, and when Fail was in no, not even in that last scene, even through their journey, he was very protective about Fail. So I got that nature from Perrin actually. Matt was like, he would have come for even Rand and Perrin also.
No,
So
I
I like
genuinely
that.
feel that. Yeah. But I also, yeah, sorry, Angie, please go ahead.
No, I wanted to talk about this. My favorite scene throughout the book. Maybe it's just me, but I love that scene on the rooftop where he lifts his
Water
staff. Yeah, and then he accidentally, subdues an enemy. And it was such a funny scene for me. I could just imagine this playing out on the screen, and that's where, and throughout reading this book, the face that I pictured is the guy who played Matt in season one. And I'm so sad that they're going to change the character, because I was picturing him throughout. Now when the new guy comes, I hope he's good. But then again, I have to change everything from the next book once the season comes out. Yeah, next season.
Hey,
I also love that.
What is Pratik talking about here? Who is the crazy ex-girlfriend in this book?
Pratik, they don't know. So far. Pratik, remove
Pratik,
it.
stop giving us spoilers.
Pratik, they don't know.
Even I'm confused what the ex-girlfriend is referring to. I have to think about that one.
Phil, come on, Phil. Stop
Who?
it.
Parents ex-girlfriend.
Don't ask that when answer is spoiler. Angie, don't ask questions. Delete that comment.
Okay, let's go back. Let's go back to Matt when he gets healed of that Shara Logoth dagger, because that's also a very interesting scene. Okay, so anything that you want to talk about, because of the way that he wakes up, he has holes in his memories, and whatever that happens afterwards, his fight with Galad and Gawain, and how he just destroys them with his quarterstaff.
The quarterstaff battle was just simply epic. He defeats them much like the story of the greatest warrior defeated by a farmer way back.
Yep.
Exactly.
I think. I wonder if he has that memories from what is their what is
Mandalorian.
No, that medallion that he got.
Medallion, the fox medallion.
No. She's talking about the old name of Two Rivers. Old name of Two Rivers.
Menethrin.
Menethrin, yes.
I wonder if he got to remember some old that ancestors' ability to fight and all. I'm very curious to know that actually.
But I think there was a mention of his father being a champion of some in the Two Rivers. His father, Matt's father, was a quarterstaff champion or something, so it could be hereditary also. But yes, there is a reference to Manethran and how great warriors they were, and maybe he inherited one of those fighting qualities that could also be there. But one thing that really bothered me, or I was worrying throughout, is I'm very skeptical of just lucky what do you call that, just luck happening to people, because I was always worried for Matt when every time he was just getting lucky, and I'm like, oh my god, when is this going to turn sour, right? I was like very worried for Matt, because is there something behind this? Is it an after effect of the dagger? What is this? Why is he lucky? And I'm still curious to know about the secret behind his luck.
Both Perrin and Egwene saw in dreams that Matt is playing dice with Balzaman.
Yep.
I think that is very significant. It did not happen in this book, but I'm very curious.
Yeah. I'm worried for him, in fact, because he is sometimes like too carefree, I feel. Like, oh my god, Matt, be careful. Just don't walk into trouble. I'm really worried for him. But what an adorable character. I just loved his arc in this. Perrin and Matt are my favorites in this book, I'm thinking. One character I really missed is Lowell. I would have liked to have more of him, unfortunately. I mean, he's another favorite character of mine. I really like him. I liked that he started fretting over like maybe this is a bad decision. I decided to join these guys. Oh my god, I should have gone back to studying. Oh my god, why did I join these guys? Like I like
you
that,
know,
this huge
no,
big guy.
you know, when Moraine asked that, okay, if you want to leave, then he was like, he doesn't want to go
No,
because
no, 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 no.
he
No,
doesn't want to go, but he wants to complain. That's so me, actually. That's so, I mean, that's very normal. I mean, I laughed.
Right.
every
Yeah.
moment he gets, he's always saying, "I must complete my book. I must have
Book.
more stories from my book."
Yeah.
And he always goes with the with the groups.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He needs the action also, but he is worried also. So yeah.
Understandable. He knows that these people are Tiberan and all of these crazy things happen around them, so he has to be there for his book. But he's also like he knows that at some point he has to go back. So yeah, there's just struggle there. Yeah,
And in this book, I think I may have missed this dark ways. What is it called? The ways
the
and the
ways.
portals and all that kind of magic was missing from the book. I think, right? There was not much of portal magic or the ways, or it's more about the dream world. I think it was more focused on the dream world
Yeah,
throughout
because
this
we are
book.
developing into that. Yeah, because
Hmm.
that is going to be expanded even more as we
Oh,
go through the books. Yeah. Yeah. And but I do feel I really enjoyed that that fight between Galad, Gowan, and Matt,
hmm.
because these people are training to be warders, and then Matt just literally comes out of nowhere. So yeah, this was literally the highlight of this book. I think this is such a great scene and
You know,
it's
some
And
amazing.
amazing moments with the Matt, actually.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
he's half starved, half ill, recovering from his ordeal, and he puts him down handily with a quarterstaff. It was
yeah.
an epic scene.
That that confidence only comes to fools, actually. A smart person wouldn't have attempted that.
And hence
Some people
Matt.
Okay, okay, okay. This,
some people would say he had the luck,
Yeah,
but I think
yep.
it was more than that
Yeah.
in that particular battle.
Yeah. Yeah.
both,
Okay, what are
actually.
your thoughts? What are your thoughts on the romance side of the series? I want to know.
Sorry?
Did we have any romance in this? I don't think so. Did we?
Nynaeve
I
and
mean,
Lance was there, but it's not in this book. Rand has romance with the three girls, but not there in this book. And Perrin has romance with your I mean, yeah,
I think it was
the
practically absent. There was no romance much
no,
in
Yeah,
but
this.
we
we
also
had
came to know about Galad and Egwene stuff is
Ah,
also there
yeah,
in this
okay.
book,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
So what do you
But
think
it's kind
about
of an
that?
attraction from Egwene's side, right? I don't know if Galad is reciprocating. I don't
we
know.
don't see
Sure,
anything
go
on
ahead.
paper.
Sorry.
Only people have crushes so far. So
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
yeah
Yeah.
yeah we don't see relationships develop very much in the story.
Hmm.
We're told about
Mm.
other feelings between different peoples, but relationships will develop in later books.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I think Nynaeve and Lan, I think whenever they come, they are like my favorite couple, and they are the one that I ship, and I just hope that they end up together. I genuinely hope
see,
because
I go. I don't mind crushes. I don't mind flirting. I don't even mind that if they get together and get married and have kids. I don't mind at all. But please don't give me angst. I don't know.
Yeah,
just give
yeah.
me angst. I don't mind it. Seriously, just
No.
just end up together, please.
Yeah, end up together or
And
flirt with each other, flirt with any number of people. I don't mind. Just don't give me angst. Like
and
when that person is right there, approach them, do something about it. Just don't sit here and cry, like a land do.
Landus, yeah. And with this, you know what? That reminds me of these scenes where these girls are going through that test for becoming accepted. Like they have
Mm-hmm.
to pass through these different, what is it? I don't know what is it called. That
Tarangrial, that
yeah,
Tarangrial that they have to go
Right.
right.
through. Huh? Hmm.
and those scenes, I mean, the dream, or I don't know what, that kind of trance that they go into, and those scenes, I think those were really heartbreaking. I felt even, and I mean, what they could have been, they're shown that what their life could be, and then they have to abandon that and then come back to this horrible reality. Uh, that was a well written scene. I felt the whole sequence of
I
them going
actually,
through that
yeah,
ritual.
90s was more heartbreaking for me because I understood what was, what is, what will be. I mean, that her
Mm,
accident with that Forsaken, and actually that second test was more heartbreaking. That Emmenfield is struggling,
Mm.
but Egwene's, I think, because of that ring. Terangriel that affected, I think it showed alternate reality of what was actually, because what was in our world, they aren't married, but in
mm.
that her accepted test first round, it was supposed to be what was, what passed, but it showed like Egwene and Rand was married, I think, because of that ring that went into alternate reality.
Oh,
Wow, that's
whoa,
nice
whoa,
Wow.
Anita. I
thought.
love I love this theory, okay? I
I
really
know, me
like because
too.
yeah, I love this theory because like I am done with like the half the series, but I also don't know whether whatever that they have gone through, is it a dream or is it some alternate reality? I don't know because it
I
has
think
not been
I think
clarified.
I think even the Aes Sedai say that they don't know
Hmm.
Yeah,
whether it's a real or whether it's a reality. They know that
Yeah.
they can power it up. They can contribute energy towards it. They send the girls through it to them for them to discover their past and their futures. But it's not. I don't think it's ever made clear if that's the
Yeah, it
real.
hasn't. Hmm. At least till book six, it has not been told, like whether that was clear. But I really like that theory. I think Anita, I agree with you because the Aes Sedai also says that Alana, I guess Alana was the one who said that there's something wrong with the Tarangrial, and I think it is
Yeah.
happening
yeah.
because she had that ring on. So because of those two Tarangrial there, we had the resonance effect. I think I just kind of
Resonance,
got
Because
stuck
exactly.
on that. Yeah.
because we, I mean, we may not know what happens in that terrain when they go, but we know the rules. The first round should be what was, what happened already in the past. Nynaeve met that 4 second guy who was killed in that book one.
Yeah.
Second was like what is happening now, like Field is struggling. Third was like what will be, like future, land and
What could
Nynaeve
be, what could be, I
yeah, what
believe it was.
what could be.
What could
So
be?
but in Egwene's, it was up first round, it was supposed to be past, already happened, but
Mm.
what she saw was Rand and Egwene married and living. I was like, okay, I mean,
I didn't remember that. That's a very good catch.
That's a
That's a good
good
catch.
catch.
Yes. Yeah.
I didn't see that. I just felt like yeah, there is some sort of a resonance there, but I didn't catch that. Yeah, good one, Anita. Yeah, you're a smart one.
Mm. Amita is always the smart one. She picks on in these small things. So that's why I
Yeah.
like to watch her reviews. Excuse me.
I
Uh,
mean,
so
I don't know whether it is smart or not. I have some OCD things. I observe. I'm very keen on some things. So if you talk about something already in book two, I need book three to be similar to that. If there is some difference, I observe that. I note it actually. That's
wow,
OCD
nice.
thing.
I
Hmm.
have a very bad case of book amnesia. Like I forget things so easily what I've read. So, but yeah, these days I'm taking notes and all that, so it's like a little bit more better. Yeah. So, what else? What did I miss something? What else do you want to discuss?
I
Check
think
your
we have
notes.
discussed all the major things that happened. Yeah, I think we have covered all of it. I think we were able to cover all of it.
So Pratik
Yeah.
is saying we are getting that scene in S2. So that's I think the quarterstaff fight scene with Gallard and Gawain. Yeah, we that will be epic. I think. I hope they do it right. Uh, in, in the uh, in the season one, my one of my favorite thing was the Isle fight scene where Rand's mother is giving birth. You know that scene in season one,
The
the Isle fight scene.
the cold open
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
The
episode
cold
7.
open.
Yes.
Yeah, the cold opening. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was great. So if this fight scene is something like that, that's sensational. I'm really looking forward to it.
But that scene
Yeah.
was so cool, right? That
Mhm.
scene was so cool. Yeah, it was so
I was
good.
like, oh my god, Matt, your luck is going to run out. This is where it's going to run out. Like I'm like, oh, so worried for you.
Okay, I loved Pratik's comment on Anita's theory. The series is called The Wheel of Time. Pratik, you're
Mm.
doing something there.
Pratik
Uh,
is taunting us with all his
no,
real
Pratik is saying something which you'll understand.
I am trying to ignore that hint he has given. Don't stress on it, Kiran.
Oh, yeah,
I mean, I also
and
don't know. Like, to be very honest, like I'm halfway into the series. There are still so many things I don't know. Yeah.
mhm. So we have like another maybe 6 minutes more. So, uh, what any final thoughts overall? What we are expecting in the future books, at least for Anita and me, because
Yeah.
obviously Kiran and Phil are way ahead. So yeah.
Book
Yeah.
4 title says
Why don't we
that
open up?
shadow.
Why don't we open up for theories about where the series is heading for those who haven't read the following books?
Oh
Mm-hmm.
no, that's a tough question. I don't know. We can't just
Yes.
predict with Robert Jordan. It could go
You
anyway,
know,
any
book
which way.
4 book 4 title says shadow rising, so I am expecting the dark one um come, I mean, rises, and I mean, Balzaman died. I think he comes in another shape, or maybe takes another shape.
But
And
but
will
Anita, this book was called The Dragon Reborn, and how much of dragon did we get? So don't go by
Exactly.
title.
see drag. We may not seen the dragon, but he did come, and that last end scene was there, right? He came and destroyed
Of course.
Balsamon.
Hmm.
So, and so far we have seen three seals of Dark One's prison. I think we'll see more of them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I
Angie,
think
what about
fourth.
you?
Ah, you know what? I have not thought about that. But I'm thinking, I don't know. It's a very tough
Just think.
question for
Let
me.
let
But
let Anita take it. Yeah, Anita, please go ahead.
I think
sorry.
that's all. Fourth book is many people's favorite. I think so.
Yeah, that
I
is what has got me intrigued. I'm really looking forward to it because I already love book three. So how can it be upped, right? I'm just really looking forward to that.
all I hope
The
is
Go ahead.
Matt's character to go in the same direction. I want that
Yeah.
humor to be there. I don't want to go back actually where he doesn't have anything to say or something, and
Hmm.
I want to see these characters developed. If they go back, or if they do something out of their character, I get frustrated. I hope I continue to enjoy it.
Yeah. Yeah. Phil, go ahead. Sorry, you were saying something.
I, I wanted to say that as a final thought, the prophecies must be fulfilled. That's so whatever prophecies we've heard about thus far, they must be fulfilled, and they will begin to come to fruition in the future books.
That
Yep.
means
So
Isle will come out of Isle Waste.
they're already kind of out, right? Like, so I want more of Isle, that's for sure. I hope I get that in book four. That's one group of people I'm really looking forward to, reading more about. That's for sure. Ironically, I don't care much about what Grant is doing. I'm so interested about all these side characters. I want Lowell. I want, I want more of Matt, like she said. I want Perrin, and also I want a better arc and better storyline for the girls because I was rooting for them so much and they disappointed me. So I want a better, yeah. I hope it's better for the girls in book four. That's what I'm looking forward to. Yeah.
I after reading these three books, I also didn't like Rand so much. But at the moment, after finishing Lord of Chaos, I'm so into Rand at the moment, and I think he's
That's
so
good to know.
interesting
That's
now.
good to know.
That he's so interesting now, literally, so damn
I mean,
But,
interesting.
that is totally believable because Jordan has that ability to change our perspective for characters any minute. Because Matt was like annoying character in book one, he became my favorite character in book three. I liked Perrin in book one, and he was little annoying in book three. So he has that ability to change. I mean, any minute. So I totally believe that.
I missed a
yeah,
minute or
that's
two there. I lost connectivity, but I look forward to hearing your thoughts about future books once you complete those readings.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Matt
that's what.
Fantasy Book Reviews has posted a comment. Your opinion on these characters will change rapidly throughout the series. So yeah, like Anita said, and that's an interesting part of the book of this book series. I think you cannot just predict how a character will evolve, and because they are most of the times it's so well woven into the storyline that the storyline dictates the arc of the character. It's not just something random that the author is inventing, but it's what's happening around them that molds their character. And I think that's one of the brilliant ability of Robert Jordan, I think. And I didn't realize that in book one and book two, but book three, like book three really, really got me into the characters, in fact, more
I
than
I
the
mean,
storyline.
I liked characters from the beginning. Actually, from book one, Jordan. I mean, I'm surprised. Actually, he gave agency even to innkeepers who were just there for a couple of scenes. I was
Hmm.
so impressed. Actually, so impressed. I mean, oh, we did not talk about Tom. I am so happy.
Yes, Tom
He
Oh,
came to the main storyline. I
hmm,
want. I mean, it's so sad actually that
Yeah,
Tom's girlfriend was killed in book two. I did not like that. It was so unnecessary. But I just hope him to join our main characters in their journeys, and I hope he'll find something to live for, actually some happiness, get out of that brooding mood.
yeah. I mean, I really like his his relationship with Matt. Like in book one, he's the one carrying these characters, Rand and Matt, and helping them out by literally being the father figure. And in this
yeah,
book, the roles have reversed, and now he's the one
Yeah.
being helped, and it was so happy to see
I
that.
wanted
Yeah.
to say, I want to say one last thing. Actually, my favorite scene, the moment I fell in love with Matt. Actually, that fireworks scene when he threw that fireworks in fire.
yeah, yeah,
That
exactly.
moment, that moment, if you make a film that where one person falls in love with another character, another person, that's the moment I fell in love with Matt.
Matt,
What
yeah,
kind of a stupidity is that? What kind of a fool you are to throw fireworks in fire as if nothing happens? I loved it. I was there for it. Actually,
right.
I don't care how foolish it was. I loved that foolishness.
Yeah,
Yeah.
seriously.
Yeah, I like these small things that they're like uh, the lady who introduced this fireworks to him. What's her name? Um,
Aludra.
Aludra, right? Aludra. Huh.
Hmm.
Ezra, yeah. So she refers to matchsticks, right? It's an ancient technology, and she wants to and you know that she's talking about matchsticks and she can make profit out of it. And I'm like, oh, that I like these small tidbits that Robert Jordan puts in throughout. Even in book one, there were like some references to future, I mean, like old technologies, and also the references to Manetheren. I'm really, I hope we get something about them in future books. I don't know, but if we get it, I will be super happy about the history of the two rivers.
I think Rob.
The one thing
Yep.
one thing I can say is the blood is strong with the Manetheren folk. We shall see more
Yeah.
about
Yep.
their unique talents.
Yep. Yep.
Hmm.
But I
That's
also
a
kind of
good
feel.
point.
I think Robert
Yeah.
Jordan's writing is really, really good. But I think if he just stops, focusing more on the landscapes and repeating stuff, I think if he just didn't do that, I think this would be like so much easier for me to go through the entire thing. So I think, yeah, that's just one thing that just triggers me every single time that I'm reading these books. So, yeah.
Matt has a good point. I agree with that. Matt doesn't really want to be hero, but he's very capable actually. Even in this
Mm-hmm.
book at the end, after coming to all the way, after saving, he was just happy to happy to sideline. He was like, when those three, Egwene, Elaine, and Nynaeve, want to be involved. Are these girls foolish? They want to be involved. They want to go after Black Causa and Forsaken. Oh yes, I said I understand. I said I
Yeah,
finally.
so he is so I really love those. He's thinking something completely different in his mind and saying something completely different. So
He's
he's an
awesome,
overall fun
awesome.
character. Yeah,
But I
very
think
well written.
I think it's more of him being Taveran, I guess. I think he doesn't want to get himself involved with stuff, but he gets involved. This is no way for him to not get involved in stuff. And even if he doesn't want to do it on his own, it's just Rand's influence. He just can't help it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
Jordan did a fantastic job with Matt. Actually, I totally give him credit for that. When it comes to writing, what I agree with what Kiran said. I mean, I can ignore over descriptions. I don't mind that descriptions of dresses and buildings. I can ignore that. But if he stops repeating, I would definitely prefer that. That tugging at beard. I mean, what is that?
Brave.
His
Braids.
hair
Great, great, yes.
braid. Yeah, I mean, if he stops that, it will definitely helps. But I think he's also his repetition is also the reason behind why our perspectives of characters change that a lot. Because
Mm.
I mean, if it happens, we observe, that's it. But because of his repetition only, we are annoyed or we are impressed, we are affecting by these characters so much.
Hmm. Yeah, because Nynaeve, when you talk about Nynaeve, that's the first thing you remember, and it's a part of her being. Like, that's what she does when she gets agitated, right? So that's part of her character. So it could feel like a repetition for us, and most authors will not just say it once or twice and then forget about it. But he keeps that in the narrative, to just reinforce that, that's part of that character. And you should keep remembering that this is how she
Yeah.
shows her anxiety. Yeah, it could be the reason. But yeah, some people really get, I really did get frustrated a little bit, but like you said, I can ignore it. It's not a part of me. For me, Nynaeve's arrogance was my only problem. But otherwise, I like her because, like she said, she saved Egwene and she's protective about her people and all that. So yeah, her intentions are good.
Chaco Man just
So
read the prologue. I hope you enjoy actually this. I
yes,
mean,
Chaco, yeah,
Yeah.
you're in
I
for
mean,
a
yeah,
ride.
prologues are so good. I think all the prologues of Wheel of Time are just so damn good. And I
You
think,
know
but
what?
nothing
See,
compares to the first prologue. I think the
exactly.
book
I was
one
about to say that.
prologue, yeah, book one
Book
prologue
one.
is just something else. It's so hard hitting, I think. Yeah. It's
Yeah,
the
for
best
me, book
prologue
one was
ever.
my favorite. Yeah.
Yeah.
Short and sweet. The first prologue, yes. The prologues get increasingly longer and longer
Yeah.
in the books.
Mhm.
And I think there's only one book that doesn't have a prologue.
Oh,
There is a book like that.
okay.
I thought
Yes, there
every
is.
book had a prologue. Okay. Okay.
All right. Okay.
okay, guys,
So
I have to go. I have to make lunch
yeah, yeah, same
actually.
here. Yeah,
Same,
yeah.
same, same.
Mhm. So thanks a lot for joining. Thanks a lot for all the great insights that you provided here, especially Kiran and Phil, who have, even though they are far ahead in the book, you agreed to join us and did not give us any spoilers. So we are thankful for that. And Anita, I will leave you for your lunch because then you have to go for your next Dragon Reborn discussion, I will try to tune into that as well and see, what you guys are talking about. That will be exciting. So thanks again, and thanks everybody for watching and joining this live show. We'll see you soon with the discussion of shadow writing sometime next month or sometime.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you for
Bye.
having us.
Thank you for joining.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye bye.